This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm here with Emilio Foradori, who is joining us all the way from up near the Dolomites. We're at Actinolite restaurant with the Living Vine for dinner we're just about to enjoy. But we thought we'd spend a few moments to find out a little bit about this man and his family's wines. So, welcome to Toronto.
Thank you.
I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about the history of your family's winery and exactly where you're located.
So I'm from the Dolomites. Dolomites is a mountain range in northern Italy, very close to the Austrian border. It's a mountain region, so it's more about skiing than about winemaking.
Right.
But our roots are there. It's a very small family winery. My great grandfather was a lawyer. He was quite bored to be a lawyer and started to buy vineyards in the time after the Second World War when a lot of wineries went bankrupt.
Right.
And then it was, let's say, a normal, conventional winery till my mom and my father, in the middle of the 80s, started to focus especially on one local variety, a red wine variety, which is the Terollo. This is the brief history. And after the years, from the 80s to today, our focus became more and more the biodiversity and to find the indigenous in our wines.
And how did you expand the portfolio, starting with the Terollo? You've now moved into white varietals also.
So at the beginning, we were making a lot of experiments. So my father was he made a lot of research in Montpellier, in Milan, and at the wine school in San Michele, and he planted Petit Manseng, Tannat, Cab, Syrah,
just to see
Mourvedre, what's happening.
See what would happen, yes.
And after all the years, after seeing how these other varieties were doing in our region, we came up with, of course, the local variety, because there's a reason why for thousands of years these varieties are there.
Of course, yeah.
Adapted and are expressing in the brightest and best way what characteristics from our land. This is why we began just to focus on this. So on the Terollo, the red wine variety, and on the Manzoni Bianco and Nosiola for the whites.
So you have the two white varietals.
Yes. And actually it's to bring a message of diversity, of something different compared to the rest of our colleagues which are more focused on international varieties. Yes. Because this is what we have and this is what is representing us.
Now your role at the winery is technical director, would be the direct translation.
Yes.
So you oversee the viticulture, the vinification, and a certain amount of the sales and marketing.
Yes, I'm more focused on the viticulture and the winemaking, travel around a bit, but my place is the cellar and the vineyard. Or let's say first the vineyard and then the cellar.
And if you were to speak about the philosophy that underlies both the viticulture and the vinification at your family's house, how would you do that?
From the beginning, we tried to bring out the message of biodiversity. It started from the genetics in the 80s by doing our own massal selection of Terollo individuals, not buying the conventional clones which you find in the nursery, which are producing big grapes and let's say more standardized wines, but we searched the diversity from the genetics. And this diversity then was also translated after the years into biodynamic farming. So since 2002 we farm our vineyards biodynamically, and we are improving each year by getting more sensitivity about the soil and about the climate which is surrounding us, in order to bring out this message of something different, something unique, which you can find but with the varieties only there in Cantina.
So this was quite a natural transition for you to move from biodiversity into the biodynamics.
Yes. So it was actually, it started without being conscious about it, but it was a right move my mom and my father did at the time, actually without knowing where it was going. And then it became conscious when we started in 2002 to see no improvements with conventional farming and started to make the first test in biodynamics and see what this method can bring to the grapes, and then which methods is translated into the wine, which is a really different energy compared to the one which we had before, which was made, let's say, more technically, also with selected yeast, and with more intervention.
What do you feel these three varietals bring to the glass when they're growing up in your part of the world, up in the Dolomites?
Well, all three varieties are giving you, when it is the wines, the sense of the place. They are sons and daughters of the alpine climate, so all have this common freshness and incredible drinkability. Wines which stimulate you to drink another glass and which are giving you a positive feeling. It's something you digest in a gentle way. And then in terms of, if you want to describe the wines, the Noziol is bringing you this chamomile floral,
Yes.
alpine aromas. The Manzoni Bianco, it's the more creamier expression of riper grapes, and the Teroligo is bringing the freshness, the crisp side, the bright fruit from the Alps.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to having these wines alongside some wonderful cuisine this evening. Thank you very much for joining us at Good Food Revolution, Emilio. And we'll be tasting some wine tonight. Cheers.
Thank you. Chin chin.